Hi. Hola.
Hi, hier ist Mr. Döse.
This is Michael Bradley.
Hey, I'm Memphis.
Hey.
Hola. Hello.
I'm here with soccer.com.
Soccer.com.
Chequered.com.
And I'm talking with my friends soccer.com.
See you soon.
Hey guys, Josh from soccerreviewsforyou.com, bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the Adidas X16.1 in the latest checkered black pack colorway. Now inside the box they do include a string bag to go along with the shoes. It's made from a black perforated mesh material and of course has the Adidas and X branding there on the front. Here's a look at the shoes themselves in this very interesting kind of checkered colorway. Of course, we're going to take a detailed look at the colorway itself in today's video. We're going to talk tech specs, performance features, take a look at the weight of the shoe, as well as take a look at how these things fit and feel on feet. So if you're interested in learning more, please stick around, watch the entire video. If you're interested in a pair of these for yourself, there'll be a little pop-up on screen, or you can click the first link down below. That'll take you to the review page on my website, where you'll find buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes, where you'll be able to pick these guys up below their normal $200 retail price. So again, if you're interested in a pair, first link down below, little pop-up on screen, go ahead and check it out. And with that being said, let's get right into the review. To start things off, let's take a closer look at the colorway. Now, of course, this being part of the checkered black pack, you get this black on black checkered pattern running across the entire upper. And you can see as I move it around, given that it does have somewhat of a shiny finish, the squares themselves kind of have this little bit of a flicker effect, I guess is the best way to describe it, which actually looks quite cool in person. Obviously, it's a mostly all black shoe, so it has a subtlety because of that. It's not overly flashy, but the checkered pattern, like I said, is something that is pretty unique and not something that's going to wear away over time either. As long as they're clean, you're going to get this interesting kind of visual effect because of that checkered pattern. Again, the majority of the details here on the shoe are black laces. The tech fit piece that sticks out is solid black, which is kind of the first time that we're seeing that. Normally it does have that kind of line pattern. This does not have that. All black insole. And of course the sole plate is black as well, although it does have some sparkle to it. Not a sparkled finish that's going to wear off, by the way. It's something that is permanent and kind of within the plastic material itself. And then of course you get your white detailing there with the Adidas branding on the lateral side. And on the medial side, you get more of a kind of gunmetal gray, semi-metallic X logo and your Tech Fit branding. So overall, pretty straightforward as far as the colorway is concerned. The checkered pattern is kind of the highlight here, and actually I like it a lot more in person than I was honestly expecting. So let me know what you guys think of this colorway down below in the comment section. Do you love them? Do you hate them? Why or why not? And with that being said, let's move on to the tech specs so we can learn a little bit more about the overall performance. As far as performance is concerned, the X16.1 is a very good shoe, but it's also a little bit of an oddball in terms of comparing it to other shoes on the market. Now this of course is an alternate top end model within the current X16 lineup, just below the X16 Plus Pure Chaos, which retails for $100 more at $300 US. With that being said, that doesn't make the X16.1 a less capable shoe in comparison to the Pure Chaos. It's just something that's a little bit different, which is kind of surprising given what looks to be a very similar design. The upper looks to be the same. It looks to be pretty much the same shoe minus the lace cover, although it doesn't really feel quite like that. And the difference is, like I said, a little bit more extreme than I would personally expect it to be just based on how the shoe looks and even feels in hand. A lot of you guys have also asked me what's my personal preference between the X16.1 and the X16 Plus. I do prefer the Pure Chaos in general, but again, I do think that the X16.1 does have a lot on offer. Now with the upper, not the best tech specs in terms of what Adidas has listed for this particular shoe in terms of clarity. Basically, they just say it's a Tech Fit upper, which doesn't really explain all that much. It's a synthetic material that again looks a lot like what you're going to find on the Pure Chaos model, although it is thicker on the 16.1 to the point where, again, it's kind of an unusual shoe in terms of comparing it to other models. I think you would view this shoe as a competitor to the Mercurial Vapor 11, but it's definitely a lot thicker than what you're going to get from the Vapor 11. It's a bulkier shoe in general, and even comparison to the Hypervenom Finish or Hypervenom line in general, be it the Phantom 2 or the Finish, it's still thicker, it's still bulkier, it's kind of more of a standalone. I guess the messy 16.1 compares a little bit better to the Vapor 11 This, like I said though, it's kind of a thinner style shoe, but without the upper that's actually all that thin. It's going to provide a feel that I would say is much more solid as opposed to kind of a barefoot sensation that you would expect from this particular shoe given how it looks. And that's not necessarily a strike against it or a negative thing. It's just something that's a little bit different. So you have this synthetic material that also has a liner on the inside with some nice reinforcement. Again, the upper is soft, it's comfortable, it moves with your foot quite nicely. It just has some decent thickness to it. I'm still not crazy about this particular seam right here, but it's not necessarily something that's overly noticeable when you're actually wearing the shoe. And again, in regards to touch, it's thin, but not overly thin, and it does have somewhat of a padded feel, although it's not overly padded. It's kind of one of those in-between shoes, which I guess is why it kind of makes it somewhat unusual. As far as texturing on the surface is concerned, you do have the tearing effect on this particular colorway, which is noticeable when you run your finger along the upper, but is not noticeable at all in terms of feel on the ball. They do list non-stop grip as a feature on this particular shoe as well, although you're not really going to find non-stop grip dots on the upper on any of the X16.1 colorways. So that's something worth keeping in mind, although not necessarily a major feature in my opinion. You do get a one-piece construction for the upper, which does make this different from the Pure Chaos. And that's something that does impact the fit in a significant way that I'll talk about later during the on-feet portion of the video. But the one-piece design does actually work quite well. You have more of an elasticated material here from this Tech Fit stuff, which is kind of like a fairly rugged, kind of elasticated, I guess, textile type material that does run through the middle of the shoe, kind of the top half of the tongue area. And then there's a fused kind of stitch seam that's covered there going down the middle. So it's stretchy enough to get your foot in and out of the shoe fairly easily, but I guess structured enough along with the lacing system to hold your foot in place quite nicely. And speaking of the lacing system, you can see the laces do run through the middle, and you have these little nylon strap lace loops to hold the laces on the surface of the upper. They're just placeholders though. They don't actually run all the way through the upper. They're just lace loops that basically end right here, again, to hold the laces in place. As far as the rear of the shoe is concerned, it is kind of a low cut, I guess you would consider that. Same exact cut as what you'll find from the Pure Chaos. I wouldn't really consider this to be a mid-cut shoe in general. Any of the models in the X lineup for that matter. You do get the S-curve heel. That feels comfortable enough, not really any kind of major benefit performance-wise to this. It's more so just a visual thing. You get the raised front here for this one-piece upper. Again, not something you really notice when you're actually wearing the shoe. Internally, you have a synthetic suede heel liner with a decent amount of padding, which is always nice to see. Inside, the insole is fully removable. It features a synthetic suede liner on top. You get the X16.1 branding there at the heel, and then it's just a single layer of this black foam. Nothing too fancy, but it does get the job done. And then moving on to the sole plate stud pattern, you do get the sprint frame construction here. So this is identical to what you'll find on the Pure Chaos, minus a wearable finish, of course. This gives the shoe a fairly lightweight feel and construction overall. Good flexibility in the forefoot, your stiffener bars running through the heel and midfoot, and of course the X16 FGAG stud pattern, which features pretty much the exact same layout you're going to find across all Adidas models at the moment. It gets the job done. It's definitely more of a firm ground stud pattern as opposed to a true AG stud pattern, but it is usable on both surfaces in regards to durability as well as performance. And of course you get the little kind of extra piece right here as a reinforcement in what Adidas has deemed kind of a weak spot or high wear zone on the upper. That's something that's been there since the initial colorway. So all in all, the X16.1, like I said, it is a very good shoe. It's just a matter of wanting specifically what it has on offer, because it is quite a bit different than other shoes that I guess you would expect it to be similar to, because it really just isn't similar to its competitors. In terms of weight, the X16.1 is a relatively lightweight shoe, which I'm going to show you right now in real time by weighing them using this scale. So keep in mind that this is a brand new pair in a size 9 US. We're going to throw them on the scale, and you can see that they weigh in at 7.2 ounces, the equivalent of 204 grams, which is essentially the exact same weight as the X16 Plus Pure Chaos. So you're not necessarily getting a lighter shoe from the more expensive model. You're just getting something that's a little bit different as far as the upper is concerned and the overall fit and feel. They are two very different shoes, but from a weight standpoint, they're pretty much identical. So if you are trying to pick between the Pure Chaos and the X16.1, weight should not be the deciding factor. All right, so here is a look at the X16.1s on feet. On my left foot, I have the stock black laces that come with the shoes, and on my right foot, I have a pair of junior length white reflective SR4U replacement laces. The reason why I went for junior length is just because of the design of the shoe. You're not able to tuck the laces into the side or stash them away anywhere. So the stock laces, as you can see, they're a little longer than I would like to be. The junior length laces, though, are just about the right size, and it eliminates a lot of extra bulk across the top of your foot. So if you're interested in a pair of laces for yourself, the website to go to is www.sr4ulaces.com. There'll be a little pop-up on screen as well as a link down below in the description that'll take you directly there. So if you're interested in a pair, be sure to go ahead and check that out. Now, in terms of how these things fit and feel on feet, they're pretty comfortable shoes out of the box. It has a tighter fit overall, definitely not as tight in comparison to something like a Mercurial Vapor, for example, though. It is tight, but at the same time has some decent width to it, I guess is the best way to put it. It's not a low volume fit. You have a decent amount of width through the midfoot, forefoot, and toe box area, and it does have some good height to it as well. So again, it's not feeling like it's squeezing your foot in any way at all, but again, not a super tight fitting shoe like I think a lot of people would expect it to be just based on how it looks. It's comfortable, the material of the upper, it's got decent flexibility out of the box. It does get more flexible as you break them in, that's for sure. The fit in the heel, very, very good. The S-curve heel, don't really notice it. And again, it just feels like a low-cut shoe for the most part. But overall, it is a comfortable shoe out of the box. There's not a whole lot to break in. It's just a matter of getting used to the overall fit and feel of the shoe. As far as width is concerned, I would say they're going to be suitable for most people. If you have really, really wide feet, maybe not the best option just because you're not going to get too much stretch out of the shoe. But for the most part, I think they will fit most people. And as far as sizing is concerned, I'm wearing my usual size 9 US here, and the fit and length is absolutely perfect. So if you are looking to order a pair of these for yourself, I would strongly recommend going true to size in order to achieve the best possible fit. All right, guys, that is it for my review of the Chequered Black Pack Adidas X16.1. If you guys are interested in a pair of these for yourself, you can either click the little eye in the corner of the screen or the first link down below in the description. That'll take you to the review page on my website where you'll find Buy It Now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes where you'll be able to pick these guys up below their normal $200 retail price. If you have any questions regarding this shoe, leave them down below in the comments and I definitely will get an answer out to you. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all of my social media information linked down below in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, thanks for watching.